If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Syya, and welcome to the Gnaw On This Business Bites podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome to another episode of Gnaw On This Business Bites. I'm Ben, and this is Syya. So here's a question. Do you believe everything you see? Do you believe everything online? All the reviews, all the images, all the videos that you see are legit? Do you see everything and go, okay, if I see it, it must be true? I mean, person blew my doors away the other day. Absolutely blew my doors. Using the latest, greatest version of Photoshop. I had a picture of myself where one of my arms was missing. The photographer took the picture, and when they did the cropping, they cropped off one of my arms. He throws it in Photoshop, hits one button, and Photoshop reimagines down to my fingertips what the other arm should look like. And it did it perfectly. It figured out what direction the arm should be, what direction the hand should be, and it just reimagined the entire picture. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting there with this perfect image of something that before I had to, if I'm going to use this thing online, I had to butt it up against one of the sides of the image to make it look like my other arm was hanging off the edge of the image. It was amazing to me. And you sit there and say, okay, in today's world, with everything that's evolved, with AI, with all the things that are going on, with reviews on Yelp and Amazon and company websites and product reviews and everything, how much of this stuff can we truly and absolutely rely on? How much of it is fake? And how much of it is actually people taking the time and actually writing, honest to goodness, 5-star reviews telling everything that is wonderful and perfect about a product or service or people? I truly wonder, and maybe it's a bit of a skeptic in me, but I wonder today how easy it is to do, how many of the reviews that you're reading online truly are legit. Syya, let's gnaw on this.
Oh, I bet you it's a fraction of a fraction, like way lower than we think it would be. No, so you just covered a bunch of things, and I was just like, I feel like an answer for that and an answer for that. So first and foremost, this is not a conversation on generative AI.
No.
We have had already a conversation on, authenticity versus, artificial intelligence. You can go and check that back to reference. Of course, we will talk more about it, but this is not for today's conversation.
Exactly.
What we're really looking at, if I'm hearing you correctly, Ben, is, like what's screaming at me is this. LinkedIn is our social media platform. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're on YouTube as well, but LinkedIn is where we tend to find our clients, right? And a lot of our messaging is B2B oriented. So on that, when we're talking about, well, what is fake, what is real, we do have to make a nod towards, platforms that generate content and automate it in a way where they say, hey, we can make posts for you. We can comment as you. We can send DMs on your behalf, etc. Okay.
And I get those requests every single day from some company that wants to automate my entire life for me.
By the way, if you get a lot of those pitch slaps, I'm actually doing something. Call it a art piece. So you're welcome to do screenshots and send it to me. Hey, Perfect. Anybody listening, send me your pitch slaps, your best, your funniest, the worst, the most like tone deaf. Like, I can't tell you how many times I get hey, ma'am, have you ever considered doing short videos or putting your content on YouTube? No, I've never
Never
thought
thought
of
of
that before.
that.
Anyway, don't get me started. Anyway, you're making me ADHD here.
Don't.
Squirrel back, reverse the squirrel. All right, here we go. So, what gets me a little bit on the whole idea of I do leverage. We use, ChatGPT. Right now,
Absolutely.
we're working with Unchained. So there are lots of platforms that are out there. Okay, the question is to what degree do you leverage it? Is it a tool, or are you relying on it like not even a crutch? You're just using it as your own like submarine jacuzzi ride across town type thing, right?
Mhm.
Some people are using it if they get writer's block for inspiration. No harm, no foul. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I just want to be very clear. But
But it
what gets
is
me though
if
is
they take an article, they say, oh, I can't think of anything this week. I asked ChatGPT to write an article, I put it in, and I represent it as mine.
yes, yeah,
That's the problem I'm having.
100%. But I also have a problem with, look, if you want to support local businesses, that's great. Actually, please support. If
Yes,
you're
do.
going to take the time to support local business, do that, because you know what? Apple doesn't need any more attaboys. Okay. I think they're doing pretty damn well on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrate the freaking smaller businesses, you guys, because there's the ones that actually they need it. Right. But I do wonder to just some degree, I do see a lot of posts on LinkedIn where I'm just like, this person does not mean what they're saying right
No.
here. There's a lot of like fake genuineness, I think, on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of pivoting us a little bit. That again, I'm trying to get away from the AI component of it because that's not what we're talking about.
No.
We're talking about like those fake engagements where you're just like, what does someone, and I'm just going to say it, in one geographical part of the country give a poop on poops about gas rates in freaking Texoma?
Right.
And then they comment on it, or they say, oh, that was really enlightening. What's enlightening about it? Okay, you're in the freaking North Pole. What does that have anything to do with what's going on here? So that's what bothers me about that fakery, if that makes sense. And I am guilty of it as anybody else is. We want to play the LinkedIn algo game, okay? But to what end does that algo game actually net you? Are you actually getting business out of it? Are you developing any real relationships out of it? I love my friends out of the North Pole. Don't get me wrong. Go Santa. But Santa has nothing to do with my life as an adult. Unfortunately, Santa cost me money, apparently, because I've got 10 nieces and nephews.
But it's more than that. It's more the fact of, are we being deceptive? I mean, there's a couple of different things here that you're going at. One is the automation of the Me Too's, Yay Girls, all that kind of stuff. Trying to get people to connect with you because you fake connected with them, and it's just trying to drive your likes up, drive your push up your numbers on the algo and all that kind of stuff. There's that. Then there's the fact of just absolutely being deceptive of who you are, what you do. It's just I'm going to fake it to the make it, and I'm going to show the world that I'm living the caviar life when I'm not. And the 5-star, getting a 500 people to write 5-star reviews for my product who've never even touched my product. I get people all the time saying, "Will you write a review of my book?" No. Why? I've never read it.
I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, I don't even know who you are. But there are groups out there who will just sit there and write reviews on Amazon. Why? Because they get free product out of it. They're given free product, so therefore somebody's paying for this free product to happen, so therefore they can write reviews. And and the machine goes on, and you sit there and go, okay, is this thing a number one bestseller because somebody jobbed the system, or because actually 2,500 people actually turned out and bought this book on day one? Did somebody actually do the marketing and do the hard work and actually, build a content following and be able to get people excited enough to actually go out and there and buy 2,500 copies of this book at full pop? Or did you sell, 2,500, Kindle versions at 49 cents a piece because you put it on sale for 49 cents and people say, oh, what the hell, for 49 cents, I'll just buy it. And then all of a sudden you're a number one bestseller. It's that kind of stuff that drives me absolutely nuts. It's the fakery. It's the jobbing the system. It's sitting there going that trying to make yourself look better than you are, more important than you are, more successful than you are by putting out all this fakery and silliness. And I guess that's where my real challenge is. If you actually got 2,500 people to pony up $20 for your book, kudos for you. You deserve the Amazon, bestseller for the day. But if somebody just went out there and sold it at 49 cents and you didn't make a penny off the book, you actually paid $3,000 for somebody to send it out to his list of 180,000 people. What have you gained other than the fact that you got this badge that says I'm a number one bestseller? But you didn't make a dime.
So okay, now this is really shifting towards fake it till you make it, right? Is it ever a good idea to do that? Because I think that's where the crux of our conversation really is like, do you believe what you see to be true? And if so, do you believe in faking till you making it? Because a lot of that may or may not be real.
Yeah.
I'm all about you be you, boo, right? Like, look, warts and all, because over time we're going to get to know who you are, whether you're smiling sweet soul or you're like, not. But at some point, again, it goes back to what is it you're trying to accomplish too? Because you know what, man? Look, we're all guilty of it. Like, you have a huge following. I'm growing my following, but I'm not growing it at like an outrageous rate. Like, because I know that my followers are followers that I have had over my career. They have seen me good, bad, ugly, like me, indifference. I don't give a crap. We're connected because we worked together at some point. It could have been a painful relationship, but it doesn't matter. We're connected because we knew each other.
Yeah.
Right.
My following is over 17 years. I have been on LinkedIn for 17 years. It's not that I sat there and faked the algorithm or created some type of hack software that goes and gets people to connect with me or whatever. My connection rate is what it is because I've been doing this for 17 years.
Yeah, you just made me math. I'm not that far behind, and that's really depressing. Stop aging me.
I'm still older than you are, so it's okay.
Oh, I get it.
Just
sunshine.
Deal with it. Just say that I'm your older brother and just be done with it.
It's not that you're my older brother. I love that. Okay, that I can respect. And you'll always be the older brother.
I will always be the older brother.
It's that I'm nearing certain.
No. You're always younger. Just look at it that way. That you're always it's the whole. It's how you couch it.
I'm trying not to fake it. I
understand.
Right now.
And I'm trying to enable you to fake it. So, let's look at it this way. Is that it really depends. Are you doing it for nefarious reasons? Yeah, or are you using it just to sit there and say, I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way? And I think that it comes down to things is, I was part in the 1980s with the guys on stage, the true guys, the guys that sold you the timeshares, the guys that sold you, the courses that you would take for $10,000 for you can get rich too. Okay. I was involved in all of that. I've seen the worst of human beings, and I've watched people with starry eyes and get rich in their heart, take the money from people that are, that are just looking for a way out. And those people today are the same people. They've just got more technology in their hands. And what I'm saying is those are the people we got to be aware of. Those are the people we got to be suspect of. And those are the people that we need to be, we've got to be warning other people of.
Okay. That's a different, that's a different conversation. You just made me go on, and I don't want to do it. But yes, there are folks that are charging premiums for people who may or may not have the funds.
Most of them don't.
And that's the sad part. And they don't execute on behalf of those poor. The intention isn't there to be there. Look, I get it. Not everyone's going to be hippy dip roses working with people, but I have, unfortunately, especially in our industry, I've had to clean up the slop, if you will, of people who have just so badly taken advantage of other people.
Horribly.
And it puts us in a precarious situation because we're like, sorry you got burnt, man. But
I can fix this. And then they're going, yeah, you're going to try to take advantage of me too.
Well, that, or they're like, hey, you know what? I see that you can do it, but can I just pay you a quarter of what I paid? It's like, no, but because that was all they had.
Yeah.
Right. It's almost like, oh my God, if you cannot afford it and you're at this level, let me coach you on how to do things yourself before you can afford, outsourcing. Right. At least stopgap measure until you can get that. And then we can, talk about.
Okay. We digress. I think that we digress. We need to sit there and say, look, we need to sit there and be wary of the people that are trying to jam the system, that are people that are sitting there trying to make themselves look better than they are because they've got a deal for you, and they can help get you there too, because most of them can't.
Is it fake or not, kids?
Is it fake or not? And if it smells fake, it probably is. So with that, I'm Ben.
And I'm Syya.
And we'll see you soon.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Gnaw On This, Business Bites. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me at brilliantbeammedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of Gnaw On This, Business Bites.